All right, so hopefully this will help some of you folks out there that are semi-over analytical because you don't want to damage something because you don't really know exactly what you're doing because you don't have as much experience as other people, right? So that's me, right? Got a Whirlpool Cabrio. I'm not the appliance guy, right? But being a homeowner, you end up doing a lot of stuff and learning a lot of stuff, do it yourself, right? So had this thing about 10 years. It's 2023 as I record this video. This model was probably, you know, from around 2013. Can't really be sure. I didn't really look it up. I got this tape now, but model number is in there, serial number, but I didn't look it up. But this is what this model looks like. I think a lot of people are experiencing having different models with different setups. And there's some confusion out there. Because if you're like me, you don't want to be pushing into something that you can't see or using a screwdriver to wedge something and you're not really sure what it's made of or how it's set up. And then you break something and now you've created more of a problem than you had originally, right? So people have been talking about where, you know, pushing in to get the tabs or whatever. These models definitely have tabs in the front. People are saying 6 to 8 inches. Got my tape measure here. Handy dandy Stanley here. So the middle of that tab is right at, well, we'll just say the start of that tab is right at 7 inches from the edge. So the middle of that tab is like right at 6.5 inches from the edge of your machine. Almost right at, pretty much right at 6.5 inches, right? From the edge, boom. All right, I'll take the tape off. If you don't have you know, you can visualize that. If you don't have a tape measure, it's right in line with the edge of your, this is where you put your detergent, and right in line with where you put your fabric softener, if you use liquid fabric softener, which I haven't used in years. All right. Type 580, model number, serial number. I didn't look it up to see what the year is, but roughly around 10 years old. Some people are having trouble. I was having trouble finding these tabs, so I was like looking for videos, and I thought I came across one. I was like, you know, this gentleman is saying, y'all are crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. You take these clips off, and then you can slide this top forward, and then tilt it back or whatever, remove it or whatever. That's just simply not the case with this model or these types of models. Because these clips are definitely here. Now I'm gonna put the tape back on there. Hold on. Because when you tilt this back, that lid will be flying open. There's the underside of your, you know, of your lid is just, you know, these clips just simply compress and act as a spring. Hold on. Like a spring, that thing squeezes back. It squeezes back behind, and it's made obviously for a screwdriver or putty knife to go right in there to depress it right up under here. So you can see, you press in, it gives, and it releases or whatever. It's made out of metal, it's in there. You don't have to worry about really damaging that. But come in at the bottom, press it. If you come in at the top or something, it might be a little bit harder. Come in at the bottom, you're gonna get the most play because it's angled. It's one piece of metal. Another thing with this model, just like it is on my air return vents, there's a wire harness here. This clip is made for this to rotate around this semicircle as you tilt it back. You can lean that against your wall or whatever. As you see in these other videos, if you're like me, you looked at a ton of videos. You have a wire harness here. You take these clips off. Now there's nothing to support this thing. So if this thing slipped or something, your wire harness is in jeopardy of being damaged. So keep these clips on. Now what I did find out is if you can loosen these, and it'll give you a lot of more play in your top. And what I did was hit here a few times just to give it a little bit of play to come forward a little bit. It's not gonna move like you see in some of these other videos. It's not gonna slide forward, but it gives you just a little bit of play to take some of the pressure off of this clip. You know, you kind of shake it a little bit, and then it's easier to pull up. Just reach in, reach in under that top piece. You pull up, you press in on the tab, pull up. You got it. But they're metal. You're gonna have to try real hard to damage them. They're made to be pressed in, and then pull back, and there you are. So there's that. So hopefully that helps a lot of people. I think now I'm gonna have to see if I'm gonna be able to get the drum out, which appears to be one of those things that is pretty difficult for a lot of people. I'm pretty strong, can deadlift over 500 pounds right now. So, but I don't wanna be in here in a compromised position. I'm gonna give it the old college try and see if I can't get it out of there without doing a lot of other stuff that could potentially damage it, which I saw one individual, talk about using a car jack with a 2x4 to put pressure after you take this off. I've already got this loosened up though. But the car jack thing, and I saw one person in the comments mention that he broke one, if not two, of like whatever the centerpiece is. And he just decided by the time he put the money into fixing the bottom of this up under here, that he might as well get a new washing machine. So be careful and always look through a lot of these comments and dig deep to make sure it's not something that's risky. Now, a lot of people had success with that, it seems, but at least one person did irreversible damage to their washing machine using a car jack up under here, because you take this off and there's a plate, obviously, that screws your drum into the shaft or whatever for the motor. So be careful with that. I don't plan on doing that. I don't want to have to try that. So we'll see what happens. But as far as these clips go, you can definitely see there are clips. I think I explained that thoroughly. I think these just kind of serve as additional kind of, pressure points or whatever. Since I've got it open, I'll be vacuuming this, but tomorrow I might be buying a new pump and taking this thing back outside and tilting it and replacing the pump to the drain. So we'll see. Hopefully I'll find some change or something near our sock or something like all these other people are finding and be fine. But also I've never done a clean cycle on this thing. And coming across stuff, I saw this. I see this from time to time and I never looked into it. But when I tilted this thing over, there's rust from paperclip and bobby pin. And who knows if that didn't foul up the motor faster. I think my motor for my pump or whatever is shot. I think the pump shot. Now, if I would have did some cycles with a cleaner of Fresh or some other product, could have, cleaned some of that out and made it not as bad. I just never had an issue. But another thing too to touch on, man, when it comes to washers and dryers, Google and look into your maintenance. And just like my hot water heater, I'm getting ready to drain it. And some people say you shouldn't, you should, blah, blah, blah. But it just makes sense to me. I'm gonna look into changing the anode. I think it's the anode, that's what you call it. But the rod that's on the inside that collects the impurities in the water or whatever. But just look into, these are things you don't think about until it's too late. just look into the maintenance of your appliances, and there might be some things out there you haven't thought of that can really save you a lot of money and time. And who knows, if I would have been running a clean cycle with some type of product to kind of wash those impurities out and through the system, through the pump, and all of that, to keep stuff from building up and clogging up, you know, I might not be going through this right now. So, but yeah, I think this serves as a good kind of point for some of y'all. Don't be too bothered, but yeah, come in 6.5 inches. You don't want to be pressing all on this plastic because you will foul something up. Other than that, with these models, there's not much going on here up under here, other than those clips. So yeah, hopefully this helps somebody. If it does help you, leave a comment. I'm putting this on my You-Topia project channel because I'm trying to monetize that channel. So check out some of my other videos where I discuss some controversial topics and other things. I did a video many years ago under my an old channel, Macabre Star, M-E-R-K-A-B-A Star, and it was changing the tail lights on a Nissan Xterra because I saw conflicting information, and if I took the advice of some of these people, I would have broke these plastic tabs that secure in the back of your tail lights. And I did a video for that, and I got such a response. I bet that video is probably up to 80,000 views. It was up to 60 or 70,000, I think, when I looked at it last. I came back to that video years later, and I had all these views and all these comments, and I was like, dang, if I would have been, you know, on that channel and trying to monetize it, I would have had something going maybe right there. So, but anyway, you know, hopefully this helps somebody. And, you know, just like with those taillights, I know a lot of people out there looking and making sure they're not going to damage their property any more than they need to or whatever, trying to fix something. So hopefully this helps some of y'all, and it'll be that video that you need to make you feel confident. So anyway, good luck with whatever you got going on, and see you in the next video. Peace.